Police issued a traffic challan there, and money got debited from the bank here. Why Hyderabad is seeing fear, anger, and a major legal question. Imagine this. You leave for office in your car in the morning. There's a slight crowd at the red signal. A bus is stuck ahead. Horns are blaring from behind. And in that chaos, you somehow make your way through. A few minutes later, a message comes on your phone. Traffic challan issued. Before you can even read the full message, another bank SMS flashes at the same time. Amount debited. In that moment, your first question will not be whether the challan was right or wrong. The first question will be, how was money deducted from my account without asking me? And that is exactly the fear running through the minds of many people in Hyderabad today. Because Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, in January 2026, publicly suggested that the vehicle owner's bank account should be linked with the department at the time of vehicle registration, and the amount should be auto-debited the moment a challan is issued. This was not just an ordinary administrative idea. The statement came during a road safety campaign, where the Chief Minister said that instead of manual collection, there should be an auto-debit system, the culture of discounts on pending challans should end, and traffic enforcement should become technology-driven. A large part of his statement was linked to the need for stricter action on issues like repeat violations, drunken driving, and minors driving. The government's broad argument seems to be that if a challan becomes unavoidable, people will think twice before breaking the rules. But the real story is hidden not so much in the proposal itself, but in the reaction that came after it. After this statement, the backlash in Hyderabad intensified. According to Telangana Today and other reports, many citizens, commentators, and business people described it as troubling from a legal, constitutional, and ethical angle. People said traffic discipline is necessary, but can the state directly access a person's bank account? Should a citizen not first get notice, then a chance to challenge, and then an opportunity to appeal? And that is exactly the point where the road safety debate suddenly turns into a due process debate. One reason behind this fear is the legal tension that already exists in Telangana regarding traffic challans. The Telangana High Court has, in recent months, raised serious questions about traffic fine collection. In one case, the court expressed concern over the legality and transparency of the e-challan system because the applicable legal provision was not clearly visible in the challan. In another case, the court restrained the police from using coercive roadside tactics to recover pending challans and said that enforcement must remain within the boundaries of law. If a challan remains unpaid, the route of prosecution through a competent court is open, but recovery cannot be done by creating pressure on the road itself. So the background was already sensitive. On one side, the court was raising questions about legality, gazette notification, and the proper framework. And on the other side came a proposal like auto-debit, where the fear of money getting deducted before a challenge would naturally appear much bigger to people. That is why many people on social media presented it as a system of punishment first, explanation later. When there is no clarity on the legal framework, and on top of that there is talk of automatic deduction, suspicion in the minds of citizens is almost certain to rise. People's anger also has an emotional and political reason. In many reactions, it was pointed out that earlier there had been talk of discounts or relief on pending traffic challans, while now the tone seems to be shifting towards strict auto-recovery. In Telangana Today's report, this criticism also emerged that the rhetoric before coming to power looked different, while the approach after coming to power looks different. Changing narratives in politics is nothing new, but when the matter reaches directly into a bank account, the question of public trust becomes very large. Now try to understand this proposal from a practical angle. From the government's point of view, an auto-debit system may look like a shortcut to solve many problems. In India, lakhs of traffic challans are issued, but a large number of them are not cleared on time. If account linking happens and recovery takes place as soon as the challan is issued, compliance may improve, less manpower may be required, a stronger fear may develop among repeat offenders, and recovery may become faster. This same frustration is also visible in the Chief Minister's statement, that violators expect discounts later, so deterrence becomes weak. But this is where the second, and much more difficult question appears. Can a traffic challan really be treated like a recurring payment that can simply be placed on an auto-debit banking model? In India, banking systems like Debit are mandate-based. According to Punjab National Bank's FAQ, Debit is a mandate-based debit service. Every mandate is accepted or authorized by the debtor bank, and the mandate is a one-time authorization by the account holder, in which permission is given for debit of a fixed amount or up to a certain limit, according to a specified frequency. The same FAQ clearly describes the registered mandate as a customer instruction. In other words, the normal world of banking auto-debit is consent-driven, not surprise-driven. RBI's customer consent philosophy also broadly moves in the same direction. In RBI's device tokenization FAQ, it is clearly stated that registration must happen through explicit customer consent and through an additional factor of authentication, not through forced or default selection. That circular is about tokenization, not traffic challans. Even so, it shows a broad regulatory principle that in customer account or card-based recurring or pre-authorized frameworks, explicit consent and control are considered important. That is why the public's question in Hyderabad is not just emotional, but also operational. If auto debit happens, then who will give the mandate? When will it be given? Up to what limit? And how will reversal happen if there is a dispute? That is exactly why the fear among ordinary people is not only the shock of money got deducted, but also the deeper fear of what if the challan itself was wrong. On Telangana Police's official e-Challan portal itself, feedback and complaint options are visible. Categories such as manual error, double challan, fake vehicle, and stolen vehicle are already present. There is also a note on the portal saying that if payment gets debited and the challan still does not show as cleared, then wait for the update, and if needed, the refund will go back to the bank account. This directly means that even the system makers accept that errors, mismatches, and reconciliation issues are possible. Where the existing payment system itself already includes complaint and refund pathways, a proposal like auto debit naturally creates greater anxiety. And that is the practical nightmare Hyderabad's people are imagining. Suppose the number plate capture was wrong. Suppose a duplicate challan got issued on the same vehicle. Suppose the vehicle had been sold, but the transfer system was not updated in time. Separate complaint mechanisms already exist on the Telangana Police portal for vehicle ownership transfer and fake registration, which shows that ownership and attribution disputes are real-world problems. In such a situation, if recovery happens first and verification later, then the financial stress will directly fall on the person who may not even be the actual violator. This proposal also has a major social dimension. Not every challan is a small amount for a big businessman. For a cab driver, delivery rider, small trader, salaried employee, or lower middle class family, a suddenly debited amount can turn into an EMI bounce, rent delay, minimum balance penalty, or a daily cash flow crisis. In a Deccan Chronicle report, representatives of lorry owners also raised this very concern, that direct debit could create social and financial hardship for self-employed families and small transport operators. What looks efficient from above can feel brutal in everyday life below. People's anger is not only about money, but also about fairness. Many reactions on social media asked that if there will be immediate deduction for a citizen's mistake, then will there also be automatic accountability for bad roads, malfunctioning signals, confusing U-turn planning, potholes, or poor traffic engineering? This question is less legal and more democratic. Citizens feel that if the state automates only punishment, but not governance failures, then the system will look one-sided. That is why the debate moved beyond traffic fine collection and became a larger discussion about state power versus citizen rights. It is also important to understand that right now, I have not found any official notification proving that a traffic challan auto debit system has actually been implemented in Telangana. What credible material is available points to the Chief Minister's public suggestion, the public and political reaction to it, and the High Court's broader observations related to challan recovery. So for now, it is more accurate to understand this as a proposed or mooted framework rather than an implemented system. Now comes the bigger legal question. What is the legal character of a traffic challan? Section 200 of the Motor Vehicles Act talks about compounding of offences, meaning certain offences can be compounded on payment of a prescribed amount. In one Telangana High Court order summary, it also emerged that the petitioners argued that there are questions around the Gazette publication of GRT 108, and the court sought a counter affidavit and legal basis from the state. This means that judicial scrutiny of the existing challan recovery framework is already ongoing. In such a situation, a next-level enforcement model like bank auto debit, without a strong statutory and procedural backbone, could invite even more challenge. Then comes the question, can the government have a middle path? Absolutely, it can. And perhaps policy-wise, that would be more practical too. For example, auto debit could apply only to a finalized challan, not at the stage of initial issue. First, the owner should get a detailed notice, access to evidence, a dispute window, and only after a defined period should deduction happen. There should be a time-bound automatic refund system in case of wrongful debit. There should be SMS, app notification, portal evidence, appeal tracking, and an independent audit trail. Otherwise, in the name of system efficiency, it will destroy trust. The Telangana Police portal already shows complaint, feedback, and refund-related messaging. Without strengthening that logic further, jumping directly to auto debit may appear risky. One sensible model could also be that auto debit should not be mandatory, but opt-in. Just like FASTag or certain bill mandates provide consent-based convenience, in the same way a vehicle owner could choose an option like auto pay after final notice. That would increase compliance while preserving the principle of consent. In PNB's NH framework, controls such as mandate creation, modification, cancellation, suspension, and revocation are provided. If any such traffic payment framework is ever created, then for public acceptance, controls like these will almost become essential. In truth, the people of Hyderabad are not scared only of challans. They are scared of uncertainty. They are afraid that will they be made to pay first for camera error, wrong mapping, outdated ownership details, duplicate capture, or system glitch too. And if that happens, then when will the money come back, through which channel, and how easily? RBI's framework on unauthorized electronic banking transactions does say that, in certain cases of wrongful debits, timelines and bank liability frameworks must exist. But if something like traffic Challan linked automatic debit is ever introduced, it will have to be designed with such customer protection standards. Otherwise, litigation is almost certain. If this entire debate has to be understood in one line, then this is not a case of traffic discipline versus citizen liberty. The real issue is lawful enforcement versus shortcut enforcement. Everyone wants road safety, drunk driving, overspeeding, signal jumping. Strictness is necessary on all of these. But the legitimacy of a modern state is built not only through punishment, but through procedure. If the procedure is transparent, appeal-friendly, evidence-based, and consent-aware, then people accept even strict rules. But if the state reaches the bank account first and gives explanation later, trust falls. It does not increase compliance.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.